Jai Hind, dear students. Welcome to the mathematics class. As you all know that from past few days we all are studying the fourth chapter of the class 9 mathematics syllabus, that is linear equations in two variables. In the past few lectures we have studied about linear equation in two variable, how to write it in standard form, how to find out different solutions of a linear equation in two variable, and also we have understood how to plot the graph of a linear equation in two variable, or you can say how to uh, show it graphically. And in the previous lecture we have solved few of the question from the exercise 4.3, and as I have told you all that in the upcoming classes also we all will be discussing few more questions from the same exercise. So here we have started with the question number 4, which you all can see is a word problem. So what we need to do in this is, firstly we'll frame a linear equation with two variables and then we'll try to draw the graph. So let us read the question first. The question says a taxi fare in a city is as follows. For the first kilometer the fare is rupees 8, and for the subsequent distance it is rupees 5 per kilometer. Taking the distance covered as x kilometer and the fare as rupees y, write a linear equation for this information and draw its graph. So now you all can see here we have two unknown quantities, and for our ease the question has already described that what variables should be taken for the unknown quantities. So we have two unknown quantities over here. One is total distance covered and the another is total fare. So these are the two unknown quantities, and using the variables we need to represent these. So it's written that we need to take the total distance as x and the total fare as rupees y. Using all these we need to frame a linear equation in two variable, and then we need to draw the graph of the same. So we will follow the same method of drawing the graph which we have discussed in the past two lectures. Before that, let us begin with framing the equation. So let us read the question once again. The question says for the first kilometer the fare is rupees 8. So let us understand it with the help of a simple example. For example, if you have traveled a distance of 5 kilometer, then your fare is divided into two parts. For the first kilometer, that means for 1 kilometer you have to pay rupees 8, and then for the subsequent distance, that means for the distance which you have traveled after that 1 kilometer, you have to pay rupees 5 per kilometer. So 1 kilometer charge is already rupees 8 written. So now we are left with 4 more kilometers, and for each kilometer we have to pay rupees 5. So the total fare will be 20. How? Because rupees 5 is the cost of 1 kilometer. We have the 4 kilometer left. So the total fare will be rupees 20. So for 5 kilometers we have to pay 20 plus 8, that is equals to a total of 28 rupees. Same way, suppose if the distance is say 12 kilometer, then what we need to do, for 1 kilometer we have to pay rupees 8, and for the remaining distance, that is 12 minus 1, which is 11 kilometer, for that we have to pay at the rate of rupees 5 per kilometer. That means 5 into 11, that is rupees 55. So I hope this is clear with you all. Now using this, what we will say, we in the question it is said that the total distance traveled by the taxi was x kilometer. So for the first kilometer the fare is rupees 8. So we have paid 8 rupees for the first kilometer, and now how much distance is left? So the left distance is now x minus 1 kilometer. And now for this, the fare will be 5 times x minus 1 kilometer using this. For 1 kilometer, rupees 8 is already paid. So the remaining distance will be paid for rupee at the rate of rupees 5 per kilometer. So this is the remaining distance. This is the fare per kilometer. So the total fare will be this. This is for x minus 1 kilometer and this is for 1 kilometer. So if I have to calculate the total fare which I have to give to the taxi driver, it will be the sum of this and this. So the question says to take the total fare as y. So we took the total fare as y, and then for the first kilometer the price is rupees 8, and for the remaining distance it is 5 times x minus 1. Let us simplify it a bit. So it gives you y is equals to 8 plus 5x minus 5. It simplification, it gives y is equals to 5x and 8 minus 5 plus 3. So this is the equation which represent the situation which is given in the question. So we have got the equation which in the previous questions was already provided. I hope you all have understood this. Now what we need to do, we need to draw the graph of this equation. So to draw the graph of this equation, we all know we need to find three different solutions for the equation, and then we'll plot those points. Sorry, we will have to find three different solutions for the equation, and then those three solutions will be plotted on the graph or in the Cartesian plane, and then we'll join those points with the help of single straight line, and that line will represent the required graph. So let us quickly find out three different solutions. So what we will start, we'll start with putting x is equals to 0. So if I'll put x is equals to 0 in the equation, we'll be getting y is equals to 5 into 0 plus 3, that is giving us y is equals to 0 plus 3, which in turns gives us y is equals to 3. So the first solution is 0 comma 3. We can name it as point A also. Now what we need to do, we need to have two more solutions. So let's find two more solutions. Now what we'll put few more values. I am putting x is equals to 1. So if I'll put x is equals to 1 in the equation, it gives us y is equals to 5 multiplied by 1 plus 3, that is 5 is multiplied by 1 gives you 5. So y is equals to 8. So the second solution is 1 comma 8. So we can name this point as B, and then one more solution. So I'll put a negative value now. X is equals to minus 1. So y is equals to 5 multiplied by minus 1 plus 3, which gives 5 into minus 1 gives minus 5 plus 3, which gives y is equals to minus 2. So the third solution is minus 1 comma minus 2. Name it as C. Now what we had to do, we need to frame a table in which we will write all these three solutions. So let us quickly make a table. This is what it is. So we have x, y, and the ordered pair x comma y. And in the first case we have substituted x as 0, we have got y as 3, so the ordered pair was 0 comma 3. The second was we have substituted x as 1, we have got y as 8, so 1 comma 8 is the second solution. And the third one we have written the value of x as -1, we have got y as -2, so -1 comma -2 is the third ordered pair. So now what we need to do, we need to draw a Cartesian plane, and in that plane we need to plot these 3 points. So let us take quickly, we'll take 3 points on the Cartesian plane. So the first point is 0 comma 3. So here it is. Let us plot the first point 0 comma 3. So here it is 0 comma 3. What we had as the second point, it is 1 comma 8. So let's plot the second point as 1 comma 8. So 1 comma 8 is over here, and the third point was -1 comma -2. Here it is. So you all can see these are the 3 points which we have obtained as the solution, and now we'll draw a line joining these 3 points. So it is y is equals to 5x plus 3. So this is the graph, and the value is y is equals to 5x plus 3. So that this is how we'll solve this question, and hence it is solved. Go through it. I will show you the previous screen just to make you understand what we have done. We have framed an equation using the given conditions and then found 3 different solutions, 1, 2, 3. Then we have drawn the graph of these 3 by plotting these 3 solutions and joining them with the help of a straight line. So I hope this will be clear with you all. Now moving on to the next question, we will have one more example question over here. Again from exercise 4.3, question number 5. Question number 5 has 2 different parts. I have taken the second part. It shows 2 different figures also, and I have taken only one. So the question number 5 says, from the choices given below, choose the equation whose graph are given in figure 4.6 and 4.7. I have taken only figure 4.7. 4.6 is for your practice. So you can see here 4 different equations are given and a graph is mentioned over here. What we need to do is to find out that this graph represents which one of these equations. How to do? If you can see, there are 3 different points given on the line. One is 1 comma 3, another is 0 comma 2, and the third one is 2 comma 0. Now all these 3 points you can see are lying on this line only, which means these 3 are the solutions of the equation whose graph is given in the question. So now it's simple. What we do, we will substitute all of them one by one in these equations, and the equation which will satisfy all these 3 points will actually be representing the graph which has been shown in the equation. So what we'll do, we'll simply put the values of x and get the values of y from the equation. If we'll get the same value of y as mentioned over here, it is satisfying. If not, it's not satisfying. So let us begin with the first equation. It is y is equals to x plus 2. So I'll put x as minus 1. So if I'll put x as minus 1 plus 2, it gives y is equals to 1, which is not equals to 3. So the first equation is not representing this line. Now let's take the second equation. It is y is equals to x minus 2. Once again I'll put x as minus 1. So minus 1 minus 2 gives us minus 3, which is again not equals to 3, which means again the second equation is also not the required solution. Now third one, it says y is equals to minus x plus 2. So then if I'll put x as minus 1, so 1 minus is already here, and I am putting the value of x as minus 1. So I'll again put a negative sign over there. Negative into negative makes it positive. So 1 plus 2 equals to 3. There it is. In the third equation, the first point got satisfied. But that's not the end of the question. We need to know whether the other 2 points are also satisfying the equation or not. So let's put the another value of x, that is 0. So if I'll put x is equals to 0, so I'll be getting minus times 0 plus 2, which is giving you 2. So once again by putting x as 0, we have got y as 2. So the second point is also satisfied, first point is also satisfied. Now the third, 2 comma 0. So if I'll put x as 2, it becomes minus 2 plus 2 is 0. So we are getting 0 also. So that means the third equation is the answer. Y is equals to minus x plus 2 is the required answer for this question. You can check for the fourth one also, but I know that this will not being satisfied, but you need to check that also. You can do it at your own level. So this is how we are going to solve the questions. I hope this must be clear. Today we'll have one more question. So let's have one more example. Here it is. This is question number 6 of the exercise 4.3. The question says, if the work done by a body on application of a constant force is directly proportional to the distance travelled by the body, express this in the form of an equation in two variables and draw the graph of the same by taking the constant force as 5 units. Also read from the graph the work done when the distance traveled by the body is 2 unit and the second one is 0 unit. So what we need to do, once again over here, we need to frame the equation, then we need to plot the equation in the Cartesian plane, and then we need to find out the answers for these two paths. So let's begin. How can we start with it? The question says work done is directly proportional to the distance travelled. So if I'll take work done as W and distance traveled as d, then it is W is directly proportional to D. Work done is proportional to distance traveled. The question says a constant force is applied. So if I have to remove this proportionality, I need to take a constant. So I have taken the constant force, that is F, into D. So work done is equals to force into distance traveled. The question says the constant force is of 5 unit. So we'll replace this F as 5. So we'll be getting W is equals to 5D. The question says to frame the equation. So what we'll do, we'll replace this W and D by X and Y. So we'll replace W by Y and D by X. So this is our required equation. Once again, I am repeating it. Work done on application of constant force is proportional to the distance traveled. Means work done is proportional to distance traveled. In physics, you all have studied that if we have to replace this proportionality sign, we always have to use a constant. So I have used a constant as F. So work done is equals to force into displacement, and now the constant force is of 5 unit as mentioned in the question. So W is equals to 5D, or in terms of X and Y is equals to 5X. So this is the required equation. Now what we need to do, we need to draw the graph. So for the same, we'll put few values to get the solution. So directly we are putting certain values. If I'll put X as 0, we'll get Y is equals to 5 into 0, that is equals to 0. Means 0 comma 0 is one of the solution. Then if I'll put X as 1, I'll be getting Y is equals to 5 into 1, that is equals to 5. So the second solution is 1 comma 5. Now if I'll put X as -1, so then it gives Y is equals to 5 multiplied by -1 is equals to -5. So the next solution is -1 comma -5. So this is point A, this is point B, this is point C. After this, we all have to make this table which was shown to you all in the previous examples also. This time I am leaving this for you all to do. You just have to put these values which we have obtained. What I am going to do is to plot these 3 points and draw the graph quickly. So the first point is 0 comma 0, 1 comma 5, -1 comma -5 are the 3 points. So let's have the graph. So here it is. So I am just deleting them so as to draw the another graph. So the first point was 0 comma 0. So here it is 0 comma 0. The next was 1 comma 5. So here it is 1 comma 5. The next one was -1 comma -5. So -1 comma -5 is over here. And then what we need to do, we need to draw a graph passing through these 3 lines. So the graph was Y is equals to 5x. Here it is. Y is equals to 5x. So this is how we'll draw the graph. You all are well versed with it now, but still the question is not completed. The question says, from the graph, find the work done when the distance traveled by the body is 2 unit and then 0 unit. So we have shown the distance traveled as x, that means on horizontal axis. So over here you can see when x is 0, y is also 0, which means when the distance traveled is 0 unit, then work done is also 0. And then when the distance traveled is 2 unit, so let's see where 2 is. So here it is 2 and on the graph it's intersecting over here. So the point is 2 comma 10, this point. So you can see when the distance travel is 2 unit, the work done is 10 unit. So this is how it is, that when the distance traveled is 2 unit, the work done is equals to 10 units. So this is what the question is. So I hope all three examples which we have discussed today is clear to you all. In the next class we'll go for few more questions of the same exercise. So till then, do go through all the examples which was solved today, because that will help us in solving the other questions which are there in this exercise. Till then, happy learning. Jai Hind.